Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a motherfucking smack set. Bye-up, bye-up, bye-ya-ya-ya. Orale Philip Bailey, Earth, Wind, and Fire. The Brazilian rhyme, for those of you that don't know. Now, in a menudo style in direct fashion, as you can tell by that thumbnail right there. Let me see my brochas, all right. Simon, it's lovely, right? Isn't it lovely? Orale, now, we're talking about the most gangster era there ever was. Simon, the 90s, my era. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why. People are going to say the 70s, but in the 70s, let's do it. So, baby, we can do it. Take that time, do it right. We can do it, baby. Yeah, they were doing it right. Okay, I guess. Con un bell bottoms afro and fucking flower shirts, flower power. Orale. In the 80s, Racky Don't smoking, Racky Don't. They were getting their motherfucking Beat Street on, right? They was breaking to the tune. Orale, rest in peace to Pop and Taco. You already know what it is. But the 90s, we were shooting people, allegedly, right? And as you can tell by that thumbnail, these are some of the most vicious, vile record labels that were inspiring the youth to go out there and basically gangbang. Not necessarily telling them, hey, you need to go out there and handle your business, but these were some of the influencers. Heavy influencers in the 90s. I know myself, man. I bumped some C-Ball, AWOL Records, Miss Marvelous, C-Ball, C-Ball. I bumped some motherfucking Looney Corleone. You know what I mean? Motherfucker was off that Doja Click. What you guys know about the Doja Click? NWA, Ice-T, motherfucking Death Row Records. It was nothing but a G thing around my house. So I was getting in real life. So I was giving my jefita, I was bumping it. So I'm making papas and chorizo. Mijo, 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Get off your ass. Here's some stamps. Go to the store. I need some fucking leche so I can pour. You know what I mean? She was trying to get her issue on right there, bumping fucking Dr. Dre and number G thing. It was a big influence. Okay, you had record labels like Sick With It Records, who were fucking not really out there like that, but everybody knew E40 and the clique was really doing their thing, selling things of that nature. Order the Vallejo, stand up. You know, I pull a 40 ounce out of my ball cap and I shove it down my esophagus. The group that I'm with, the clique. Sugar shot legit, homeboy family oriented, game related, homeboy, that's the shit. Let me tell you something. In my days, influencers like that are what it was. Not now with Wedgers and tight pants and said, get dick right to the dick slide, wobble, wobble, wobble. That's not influencing me. That's influencing me to fuck around and quit everything, but then just disappear and say, fuck the world, this is me, right? Because back in our days in the 90s, it was some real life gangster shit, okay? That's when gangster music was popularized. Popularized. How do you say it? Popularized? Oh, I can't say it, but I'll try, right? Popularized. And that's when probably 3 strikes were initiated. That's when a lot of people were getting caught up. Now, I like to say that that is the most gangster era because that's when the most shit was taking place. That's when these fucking frivolous laws were being established. That's when people were being locked away forever. So as Gavin Park said, man, 3 strikes done ended my whole motherfucking race, right? I'm telling you, they was maxing people out, locking people up. You know, in prison as well as on the streets. That's when there was validations being implemented. That's when fucking gangs were being segregated. That's when guerra was really at its height. That's when Crippin' and Bloodin' was really thugging. You know what I mean? Before the Rodney King riots, that's when the Rodney King riots did happen for those of you that don't know, you know? 92, 93, 94, man, was an ugly motherfucking situation. I know I was incarcerated for a murder in the 90s. Bang, bang, I'm trying to tell you. These music labels were heavy influencers to the youth. Maybe not necessarily to me so much. You know, I did listen to the Doja Click, some Sibo, some Miss Marvelous, some Lynch Hung. You know what I mean? Baby guts is what I rips for. Crippin' up in my 6'4" Impala. Orale, I was crippin' up in those. I didn't even have a 6'4" Impala. I had a Diamondback bike. But I thought it was a 6'4" Impala. I was doing my thing as a young kid, right? Tupac, of course, man, had a heavy influence on the way people see gangsters. Because not only was he portrayed that gang image and put it out there like that, lived by the gun, died by the gun, but also because he was a poet. You know, he was a fighter for the brown and black people. He was just someone, man, that was a heavy influencer out there to the youth. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers rebelled when they heard Pac. How do you want it, motherfucker? Woo! How do you feel? Coming up as a norteño in the casket. Oh, we were all pumped up back in them days, right? We was all norteños up north, right? Down south, Sureños was like, how do you want it? Orale said, how do you feel? Power, they were doing that. So look, a lot of people didn't realize that era was targeted. They targeted the raza, the Africano community. Oh, yes, indubitably. We were targeted, man, and that's why mass incarceration happened in the 90s. Look at it. Look at the statistic. So I was scared there was a lot of young gang members locked up. Now you ask yourself, well, you didn't have to be a gang member. That's up to you, motherfucking babosos. You got to went and work to pick tomates and shit. Camotes were there in abundance. That's it. Why don't you get off your lazy ass and go out there and pick? Well, so guess what? I was gang banging in the fucking night and picking in the day. Vatos were doing their thing. Okay, we needed feria. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because we were trying to give all the hyenas the fierro. Orale. Arby's, right? It's just the way it was. But now at the same time, you have to understand the 90s were different. Okay, I grew up not impoverished. I'm not going to say that. I grew up in the ghetto, but it wasn't the ghetto, right? With the capital G. It was the ghetto. It was the hood. It was the barrio. And I grew up with a single mother. My father was incarcerated, in and out of prison. Same old love song. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? I keep forgetting I'm not in love anymore. You know what I mean? On some Michael McDonald shit. It was the same old love song, bro. I was just trying to hold on like in Vogue and do my thing as a young kid. Mom's tried. Mama tried like a motherfucker, man. Shout out respects to little travieso. Mama tried, right? But there was only so much she could do. You know, how can you identify? I'm going to tell you how you can identify. Do you guys remember how moms used to write the notes and send you to the store to get some frajos? Do you remember how mom used to give you food stamps so you could turn those motherfuckers in with a penny candy, get some change so you could buy those frajos? Do you remember the struggle? How the struggle was real being a young kid, man, having to carry 2 gallons of milk home because your brothers and sisters wanted some cereal, man, and mom's old man wasn't there, right? There was just a lot going on in my life. Yeah, I went through that same old shit. So when people try to say, you don't know what it is, man, to be going through the struggle, you wasn't really about that gangster shit. Motherfucker, I'm still about that gangster shit. On Pyro, right? So I've been through my struggles, my trials and tribulations. And then as a young kid, of course, I bopped someone's whole shit off. And guess what song was bumping while I did it? Mobbing in my steel toe, headed for the murder show. Hey, I don't even know what song was playing. But at the same time, that was the fucking song going on in my mind. Okay? Because every time I heard a Lynch Hung, an X-Rated, a Luli Corleone, some Doja Click, E40 in the Click, Order the Sick with the Records, Selly Cell, Messy More, not really messy. You know what I mean? He was messy at that time. Anyways, people like fucking Mac Mall, Mac Dre, you know what I mean? The Dre boy, all damn day boy. These were heavy influencers in my life. And of course, it wasn't only the Africano community, man. There was other music too. Proper Dose, man. Lighter shade of brown. Order the Kid Frost. So I was getting you know what I mean? This is for la raza. It still is, Kid Frost. You might not be, but I am, right? For the raza. Now, I say heavy influencers because like nowadays in social media, you got a dick right to the dick side to the bubble, hang. You got a lot of motherfuckers that are influencing the youth to go one way or another. That's why little fucking kids are getting their fingernails painted and shit. Mira, watch my toenails. Sasuke, don't touch them. Blow them, I right? This is why they're doing the things they do. The way they do the things they do. Oh, shit, right? The temptations would be like, full, right? And the reason we did the things we did is because they was talking about AK-47s, assault rifles. We were like, oh, shit, I'm trying to get one of those, cute, right? What them be like, right? And that was the difference with us and what's going on now. Okay? Yes, we were chasing that bag. It's always been about money. That's what makes the world go round. It's all about feria, right? Feria and giving the hand of the fierro. That's what it's about. Right? The higher, the sock, the downer, the full. Back then, we all wore high socks and we were down. That's it. And that was it, period. We didn't have to sing about it or rap about it or tell everyone that we had high socks and we were down full. We showed you motherfuckers about it, right? That's just how it was in the 90s. It was different. It was norteños. It was sureños. It was Crips. It was Bloods. Oh, my. Perros, Bulldogs. Okay, you guys came in the late 90s. You're included. Fuck it. Come on in. The water's fine. That's it, right? So you don't be mad at motherfuckers have you on sight. That's just how it was. Okay, the most gangster era because that's the era of true gangbanging. That's pre still being able to do drive-bys. That's pre walk them up and glock them up, man. Motherfuckers run up on your motherfucking shit and twist your whole face back. This is when gangbanging was real. This is when people were being validated in prison. This is when gang members were fucking being stretched out on the 3 strikes law. This is when motherfuckers were slammed back in the shoe like, damn, it's that guy. We can't do nothing around here. It was ugly. Okay, now I know every era is going to have their argument and say that they're really the ones doing it. The Pepsi generation, Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Ho. I don't know, right? But what I do know is I can only speak for me and mine when I say the 90s was wiggling. And the heavy influence in the 90s was These notorious rap labels. Sick with it records. Ruthless records. Or in the 80s. Ruthless records. But we got them in the 90s too. Death Row records. Motherfucker, Suge was different. The Vatos doing life. You know what I mean? That should tell you right there. Oh, Snoop Dogg. He owns Death Row now. What else did we have? We had AWOL. Motherfuckers don't even know about AWOL. They can't even speak on AWOL, right? Or than C-Bo, Miss Marvelous. She was stomping in the steel tubs headed for the murder shop. You know what I mean? Straight up. We had people like Black Market Records. Brother Lynch Hung, X-Rated. Young Black Brother Records, man. The rompulation was so real, right? Young Lay, Mac Mall, motherfucking Mac Dre. So I was scared anyone out of Vallejo that could rap will kill you, right? Allegedly. That's just how it was back in them days. And me growing up in that era and, you know, being incarcerated. I remember the song that used to motivate me every day. You know, when you get up and you bump this, I think I better let it go. Looks like another love TK. Or you start twerking and shit, no one's looking, right? I understand that. Okay, that's the song that motivates you. Says, I feel all good now. You know, I'm gonna take me a shower, shave, man, bump some Teddy Pendergrass, and go out there and do my thing. So I got a lot of shit to do today. I got 3 lawns to mow. Fucking some Heine's gonna give me a mamon at 12. I'm gonna stop by Arby's, then Subway. You know what I mean? You just got a lot of shit going on in your daily life, your daily rutina. That's cool. You know what I mean? You always gotta fit a mamon in. That's right off the top. That's off the tippy top. If you ain't doing that, so you ain't living life, right? But see, me, I was different. Not with the mamon. I got that. To this day, shit, that's part of the everyday regimen, right? But what I did, you know, was I got up in the morning, so I was good. Every day in the youth authority, I remember the song that I used to put in, right? Put that tape in. Old school tape. Pre-CD, right? Motherfuckers ain't ready. Oh, they ain't ready. Right, I used to put in that, pop in that motherfucking cassette tape in my motherfucking Walkman, the big yellow ones with the funny spongy fucking ears. I can't. I just can't, right? It's old school shit. And I used to bump War to the State being locked down, a motherfucking War to the State, or the X-Rated, right? I was off my X-Rated shit. This is how I got my day started. This is how I got pumped up. My everyday attitude was go out there, gangbang, homes, hold it down for the North to represent for me and mine's, my city, Merced, for my people. And if I could knock me a bitch, I'm gonna knock me a bitch. Not that time I was in YA, so there was no bitches to knock. Other than one time I got a counselor, I've already spoke on that. But Saskia, she wasn't ready. Seems like she's ready, but I don't know, Kels. I don't think she was ready for a motherfucker to piss on her forehead. Now trip out. The 90s was different, okay? It's the most gangster era, and I stand firm in that, and I stand 10 toes down in true belief that that's what it was. Now, there was a lot going on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of this music captured the youth's mind. It got us to gangbang, and I remember fucking listening to NWA and all that. I didn't even know what a gangster was, bro. I wasn't even tripping off that. I was tripping on going on BMX bike and riding down the dirt path and crawdad fishing. These were some things that I like to do every day. These were my everyday activities. I was a young kid, right? The moment I heard gangster, things changed. Things like I got me a King's hat. So I stole me a Raiders jacket. What did JCPenney stand up back in the days? Or was it Sears? One never knows does one. Maybe Montgomery Ward. You ain't heard that in a long time, huh? But bam, I had to go get me one. Went to Miller's Outpost. Orale, silver tabs. And in that fashion, bam. And of course, I had to go get me some Stratford white tees. Man, it was a good day that day. I didn't even get caught. So I was scared. The thievery was real, right? But this was back in the days. Anyway, so I went and I came up. I'm not telling anyone to go out there and do that. Kiddies, don't listen to me, right? So I was a bad motherfucker, right? In that fashion. Anyway, so I went and did my thing. And that was it. So I thought I was Ice-T and shit. I got the power. Ordered the brown power, right? I was a gang member in my own mind. You know, I was influenced. So I understand when people are like, why are these motherfuckers wearing these tight ass pants? Or why are they acting fucking like this? Or why are they talking like that? Or why they got grills in their mouth? Because hip hop influences the masses, man. It's a language unheard of, bro. It's a language unspoken on. It's a universal language. Music is the most universal. It's like math. Everyone knows what it is, right? Utterly, what is that? That's $40. No, that's an acre. What? Yeah, that's $60. That's a ball, right? Everyone, you know, you have your own way of coordinating your math. And that's the same thing with language, you know? Everyone has their own different way of interpreting shit. That's how you say it, interpret it? You know what I mean? Okay, word of the day. I don't know. Spell it for me. Anyways, so that's just how it is. Okay, and I know in the 90s, we were influenced. You know, everybody, and I mean everybody, if you was in that life, you had the Kings hat, you had the Raiders hat, you had the motherfucking Dodgers hat. So I scared the Bulls when Jordan was doing this thing. Other than Michael Jordan, our era. Can't fuck with it, right? This is just the stuff, some of the things that we went through, some of the things that we adapted to, and some of the things that were established for us. Now, with the good, always comes the bad. There's always got to be bad and good. So you flip a coin. What do you want, good or bad? I'll take good. I said, you got bad, puto. You know what I mean? And then that's it. He's done. But it got real, you know, especially for me, being incarcerated as a kid, man. That's when gangbanging was at its height, you know. And I always wondered why. I mean, it was so. I mean, I guess I got used to it. It became an everyday thing. Any other thing I would think, the whisper, something wrong. Something's horribly wrong around this motherfucking cat. You know what I mean? If motherfuckers didn't wake up and gangbang, you know, gradually over time, things have changed. People have gotten kind of more so away from gangbanging. They do it now, but they do it differently. But I guess we did it differently in the 90s than they were used to in the 80s. And I guess they did it differently than it was used to in the 70s and so on and so forth and so forth and so on. Orale, you know what I mean? Paint where it ain't and menudo style and all the fucking catchphrases. Orale, you know what I mean? Knowledge you can't get in college. But I'll tell you this, and this is a fact, raza, right? And gente. This is a fact. We did it differently because we had no other choice. See, we come from an era of our parents were split up. I think, you know, like in the 80s and the 70s, I remember my primos from back then, they still had their fucking jefito in their life. They still had their jefa. You know what I mean? Even though their jefito was all smacked back, you know, with the R, they still had him there. You know, he was there to look at. So he didn't look like shit, but he was there. You know what I mean? My tío was like, all right. He was doing that too with that Kevin Hart shit, right? But he was there. See, in my era, my jefito wasn't there. You know, it wasn't because he was a bad man. It was just because he was that was the era of wigglization, right? He was doing his thing, man, trying to fucking make money the only way he knew how to, because this fucking fat lazy ass wouldn't get off his ass and go pick a motherfucking Savoya, right? But either way, you know, respects to my dad, rest in peace. You know what I mean? He still did his thing however he seen fit. So I grew up without a father. You know, my father was incarcerated. Do I blame him from the way I am? Hell nah, man. The way I do the things I do. I blame fucking Too Short. You know what I mean? It was that motherfucker that made me want to go to the ghetto, and really go out there and get it. And I was trying to be Gun of the Mac, right? And that's just what it was. I was influenced. It's nobody's fault but your own. You know, because I grew up around a lot of people in school, and I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I remember going to school, and I think a lot of you could identify with this. Middle school, you know, I was very young. This is right before I caught my case, and I ended up getting stretched out. They wouldn't let me out with the motherfucker down, right? And I was just done. Menudo style. On power, I was done, right? I was done. Anyway, so trip out on this. I was done like that big-ass fucking dead bump is done on Zod's head. That's how done I was, right? I was done like hang is going to be done if he gets caught slipping in Chicago or something. I was that done, right? I was done like Ice Cube was done with NWA's punk asses and he had to go get all the money. Motherfucker, I was done like Ice Cube was done, like Ice-T was done with that flat ass, that booty of that flat ass Asian bitch on Power. Right? I was just done, right? Anyway, so look, where was I going with this? Orale, I'm in fucking middle school, young kid. And I remember there's a whole bunch of nerds. What we classified as nerds back in the days. You know, the kids that were just like, oh, look at them, at the Dungeons and Dragons players. What are they, thumpers, right? Bible thumpers. Motherfuckers that you're just like, hey, bro, get away from me. Because I was having all the bitches. I was having all the hyenas, right? I was the one that, you know, because I wore that king sad and that motherfucker Raiders jacket, because I had that red paño and then Birkenstocks on. Already, you remember Birkenstocks and the isotoner gloves, and I was macking in the 90s and I was doing my thing. I thought I was going to grow up to be somebody. But guess what? Them same fucking nerds that I used to make fun of, now they got all the hyenas, They're giving them all the fierros, right? They're doing their thing. Lamborghinis, oh my, doctors and lawyers and whatever the fuck they are, right? They're doing better than I am. Am I mad at them? No. I see where I made the mistakes. I see where I judge characters. I see where the era took me because I identified with the era. So like I said, they were influencing us with the music, but at the same time, that was up to you to listen to the shit, right? I still listen to it every day. Lynch Hung, I'm about to... Motherfucker, I'll put it on right now. Lynch Hung, X-Rated, Ice Cube, NWA, Ice-T. Like I'm saying, man, the list goes on and on. Doja Click, stand up. A lot of motherfuckers don't know about the Doja Click. Welcome to my Dungeons of Doja. You know what I mean? That's Sugar Free, that DJ Quick. You know what it is. Motherfucker, I thought I was born and raised in Compton. My mom's had to tell me, motherfucker, you was born in Modesto and raised in Merced. I said, man, I'm born in Compton. Compton. Get over here, bitch. You're not from Compton. I'm not. So I was about to claim CV3 around this camp. Orale, why do you stand up? That's just how it was with me. Anyways, you know what it is, man. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about going out there and struggling for your familia. You know what it is, man. If you like this, hit that like and subscribe. If not, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. The 90s, I said, I'm going to continue to be the gun. Indubitably. Bang, bang, menudo.